Hey guys, so I thought I'd talk a little bit. It's kind of interesting from a trip planning perspective. But I found this thread on ADV Writer some time ago, and this is the title of this thread is the Cascade Discovery Route. This is page one. There's 100 pages of comments now. This has been around a long time. This thread was started in 2015, and you can see the tracks go back to like 2013, so they're pretty old tracks. But this is basically starting at Crater Lake and heading north to like Mount Hood. Um, and I've ridden in this general area on the BDR. It's beautiful country, beautiful forests. The problem has been recently they've had a lot of forest fires there. So a while ago I downloaded this GPX tracks, and I sort of just stowed them because I thought when I get a chance I'll go up to Oregon and ride. It's not that far from me where I am in San Francisco. So this is what you sort of start with. This is the general sort of track, and um, the big thing I think in this one is I knew last year I rode through this area. Um, I rode through Detroit Lake, and Detroit Lake is just a beautiful reservoir surrounded by green forests, and the little town there is kind of cute. Apparently, they have a lot more visitors than I expected during the summer months. Some millions of visitors come and utilize the lake and spend money in Detroit. Well, unfortunately, last year a lot of this area burnt, and more than half the town burned down. Luckily, I think no one was killed in those fires. People were able to sort of shelter by the lake and get out. Um, After sort of the worst of it had passed through. Um, so I was just thinking, like, I know some of this is burnt out, but like maybe I could go ride through here. So Gaia actually has wildfire layers. So they have the wildfire satellite layer. So this gives you hot spots. You can see there's some fires in the forest here. There's a fire just sort of like north of that Detroit Lake area. I believe this is called the Bull Complex. And then they have these regions um, which sort of give you the published like outline of the fire as defined by like the fire and forest services. So these areas you absolutely have to avoid. There's going to be smoke from these fires if you're anywhere near here, right? Like generally it's going to be going west to east. Um, so you look at this, it doesn't seem too bad. If we can avoid this fire, we can get through on this track. It might be okay. There's going to be smoke. You can see there's a lot of wildfires here, so the south section might be pretty smoky. Doesn't look so bad. Now you go and you look at, they have a historical fire layer map, and sort of the redder these sections are, the more recent the fire. So you'll see this section here, or like say this one. This fire is from 2010. This fire is from 2012. So these are 10 years old or so. There's some more recent ones here, 2017. So like 4 years. And generally, the forest has had time to recover after 10 years. So it may still be look kind of burnt out with like dead trees and stuff, but it may not be that bad. But you'll see here around Detroit, they were sort of in the middle of the convergence of two fires. So this fire, 2020, the Beachy Fire, Beachy Creek, and then the more recent one, the Lion's Head Fire. So, and you can see this actually came down into the town and everything, and this covers like a good part of that last section in there. And right here's the fire that's currently happening now. So when I started looking into this, what I found is that because these fires are so recent, there's going to be a lot of dead trees in here, and it's big fire risk if they get another fire that starts in this area. So actually, all around Detroit, there's a huge forest closure, and you cannot go into these areas at all. There's no active fire in here, but they do not want people going into these areas and starting fire. So I don't have any way to import this into um, Gaia, but you can see sort of roughly on one side, it sort of hits these lakes. This is the trail I end up on, and then I sort of ride kind of from Detroit like through this on a diagonal and come up around by these lakes. Um, so you'll see these lakes are here, and I would I absolutely cannot go through this area. So I started to try to pick a. It seems like this part of the forest might be open, or it's not included in this fire closure. So I started to try to pick a route around this, and the problem is that to the east of here, there's like a mountain, or there's like a volcano, an old volcano, right? What is it called? North Butte, or there's a Lion's Head Peak is one, Camp Creek Butte. But there's just no trails that go through there. So what I try to do is using Gaia's route creation feature and following like Forest Service roads. If you zoom in here, you can see all these dashed line roads, and I don't know if these are single track or double track or what they are. They seem to be in often cases like they may not be very well established like routes at all. But I was able to pick a sort of route around where I thought I might not be able to go. And mind you, like this is if I were to leave today. This is the current state of things. Who knows what the bull complex is going to be doing in 2 or 3 weeks? It's 100 miles. It's a 100-mile track to go around Detroit Lake, and I have no idea of the condition of these trails. There's no hotel in Detroit as far as I know, so I'd probably have to go out to Staten to stay the night if I wasn't camping. So what I've sort of come down to is I don't think I can do this trip this year. You know, this area is just burnt out. It's going to take Detroit like 5 to 10 years to probably recover as a sort of community and whatnot. And just with like sort of the active fires you can see, this white and purple is basically satellite heat maps that they're collecting from like satellites. I just don't think it's something I can do this year. I was kind of hoping I might be able to do it, but it just looks like it's going to be too smoky, too much fire risk, too many diversions around. This trail is supposed to be really cool, covering a lot of like historic trails before the Forest Service even existed there. So maybe someday we'll get to do it, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. So this is some of the tools I use. The ADV Writer I highly recommend. It's a great community of people. You get trail reports, you know, from people doing the trails like right now. And there's been some people riding some of these trails, but of course, like that area around Detroit Lake is just destroyed, so they can't get through there. So yeah, this is sort of like some of the trip planning I think about when I'm going to take some of these trips, and I thought it might be interesting to show you guys what I look at to do that.